Hello YouTubers, this is 777 Die Hard Forever, coming at you with another highly anticipated and highly recommended model as I continue to play catch up. Today I'll be doing a review on an Inflight vintage Singapore Airlines Megatop Boeing 747-400 jumbo jetliner aircraft in a 1/200 scale model. I purchased this model from Easy Toys and their website address is www.easytoys.com. But first, before I go into details about this particular aircraft model, please allow me to share you some information about the history of Singapore Airlines and how they actually came about. Singapore Airlines was founded on May 1st, 1947 under the incorporation of Malayan Airways Limited by the Ocean Steamship Company of Liverpool, the Strait Steamship Company of Singapore, and Imperial Airways respectively. Then fast forward to September 16, 1963. The airline became Malaysian Airways Limited. Then fast forward to May 1st, 1966. It became Malaysia Singapore Airlines. Now fast forward to September 30th, 1972, when Malaysia Singapore Airlines decided to split up and become two separate entities, Singapore Airlines and Malaysian Airlines System, which is known today as Malaysia Airlines, due to the ongoing conflicts between the governments of Singapore and the governments of Malaysia on expanding into international markets. And as a result, Singapore Airlines officially commenced operations on the very next day, on October 1st, 1972, and has been operating under the Singapore Airlines name ever since. Singapore Airlines is the national flag carrier airline for the country of Singapore, whereas the corporate headquarters of Singapore Airlines is located at the Airline House, which is actually located at 25 Airline Road in Singapore, while the airline's main hub and base of operations is located nearby on the grounds of Singapore Changi Airport, which is located approximately 11 miles northeast of the Commercial Center District section of Changi, Singapore. As of February 2022, or at the time of this video review posting, Singapore Airlines currently is ranked amongst the top 15 airlines in the world of aviation when measured in terms of revenue passenger kilometers, as well as the 10th largest operating airline in the world when measured in terms of the number of international passengers carried, as Singapore Airlines currently flies to 137 destinations in 32 countries across 5 inhabited continents from its primary hub at Singapore Changi Airport in Singapore, with an operating fleet of 146 aircraft, in which 7 of those aircraft are the Boeing 747-400F freighters, with no unfulfilled orders pending on this aircraft type, and with the exception of the 7 Boeing 747-400F freighters that only operates in their cargo subsidiary division, this aircraft is no longer operating in the Singapore Airlines fleet as of February 2022, or at the time of this video review posting. Also, as of February 2022, or at the time of this video review posting, Singapore Airlines is one of 11 airline carriers, along with ANA All Nippon Airways, based out of Tokyo, Japan, Asiana Airlines, based out of Seoul, South Korea, Cathay Pacific, based out of Hong Kong, Garuda Indonesia, based out of Jakarta, Indonesia, Hainan Airlines, based out of Haikou, Hainan, China, Japan Airlines, also based out of Tokyo, Japan, Korean Air, also based out of Seoul, South Korea, Lufthansa, based out of Cologne, Germany, EVA Air, based out of Taipei, Taiwan, and Qatar Airways, based out of Doha, Qatar, to hold this prestigious honor of operating as a certified 5-star airline carrier, according to the international airline review firm Skytrax Magazine, and the Boeing customer code for Singapore Airlines for this particular aircraft was 12. All right, everyone, let's take a look at the front of the box, which is mostly gold, as you see there. And what you're looking at is the top is the Megatop version, the Singapore logo, the Singapore Airlines billboard title. You also see it in the background as well, the Singapore logo, the computer generated picture of the aircraft, the registration ship number, the aircraft type, the 1/200 scale model information, as well as the item number information you see at the front of the box. All right, now you're looking at the back of the box. Nothing much back there except the airline's logo and the warning information, as well as the item number information you see at the back of the box. All right, now you're looking at the top of the box. What you see is the Megatop title, the Singapore Airlines billboard title, the computer generated picture of the aircraft, the registration ship number, the 1/200 scale model information, the aircraft type, as well as the item number information you see at the top of the box. All right, now you're looking at the bottom of the box. It's pretty much the same information as the top of the box I showed you earlier on. All right. All right, now you're looking at this nice little metal model stand that came with the model. And then on the plaque, you see the airline's logo, the Singapore Airlines title, the aircraft type, as well as the scale model information you see at the plaque. And then you see the padding right up here and there. The sole purpose of those black padding on the top of the model stand, that it not only protects your model, it also prevents it from being damaged or scratched when you put your aircraft on this particular model stand, okay? All right. With all that information out of the way about the history of Singapore Airlines and how they actually came about and still operating strongly as we speak, despite what's going on around us, plus all the details at the front of the box, this little so-called information at the back of the box, plus the actual model stand that came with the model. And since there's no gear replacement doors for this particular aircraft model, with no further ado, everyone, here is the actual aircraft model out of the packaging box. Let's check it out. There it is, everyone. The Inflight Vintage Singapore Airlines Megatop Boeing 747-400 Jumbo Jetliner aircraft in a 1/200 scale model. All right. Please allow me to share some information about the Singapore Airlines Megatop Boeing 747-400 Jumbo Jetliner aircraft and how that came about, if you would please. Singapore Airlines actually became the first Asian operator, as well as the second airline overall at the launch customer Northwest Airlines, respectively, that acquired this iconic jetliner aircraft, as Singapore Airlines took delivery of its first of 42 Boeing 747-400s that Singapore Airlines had placed orders for sometime back in early 1986, and received their first Boeing 747-400 jumbo jetliner aircraft, which bared the registration ship number 9V-SMA on March 29, 1989, and took delivery of their last Boeing 747-400 jumbo jetliner aircraft, which bared the registration ship number 9V-SPQ on October 31, 2001, as the airline's entire Boeing 747-400 jetliner fleet was given the name Megatop by Singapore Airlines, as this particular aircraft, the Megatop Boeing 747-400 jumbo jetliner aircraft, was actually designed from an innovative standpoint to actually fly long-haul routes. Singapore Airlines previously at one time registered and operated as many as 42 of these iconic jetliners in their fleet. And now, as of February 2022, or at the time of this video review posting, Singapore Airlines is no longer operating this particular aircraft type in their fleet, as Singapore Airlines officially announced in the early part of 2012 that it would officially retire the Boeing 747-400 jetliner aircraft from its fleet, in which they finally did in the first quarter of 2012, as Singapore Airlines officially flew its last Megatop Boeing 747-400 passenger revenue service flight when it departed Melbourne Airport in Melbourne, Australia, and made a historic maiden flight back to Singapore Changi Airport in Singapore as Singapore Airlines Flight SQ238 on March 25, 2012. Then fast forward 12 days later, and that's when the actual commemorative Singapore Airlines Boeing 747-400, the final farewell Boeing 747 flight, actually took place, which was on April 6, 2012, as it departed Hong Kong International Airport in Hong Kong and made its final maiden flight back to Singapore Changi Airport in Singapore as Singapore Airlines Flight SQ747, where it finally touched down officially for the very last time at approximately 7:06 p.m. Singapore time, which officially signaled the end of an era of Singapore Airlines flying the iconic Queen of the Skies, the Boeing 747-400 jumbo jetliner aircraft. And after 23 years of serving the Singapore Airlines fleet as the airline's official flagship jetliner for the Singapore-based airline, the Singapore Airlines Boeing 747-400 jetliner fleet officially flew off into the aviation sunset, as this iconic jetliner aircraft has since been replaced with the Boeing 777-300ERs, as well as the Airbus A380-800s, which entered the Singapore Airlines fleet in 2006 and 2007 respectively. Now let's talk about the livery scheme on this aircraft. This was the livery scheme of Singapore Airlines, which was actually unveiled sometime in 1988, as it became the livery scheme that eventually replaced their previous second-generation livery scheme, as this livery scheme is actually similar to their current livery scheme, but the only slight difference between this livery scheme and their current one is number one, the Singapore Airlines font billboard title is slightly much smaller, which can be visibly seen towards the upper center part of the fuselage, whereas the current Singapore Airlines font billboard title is slightly much larger, which can be visibly seen towards the front sectional part of the fuselage. And number two, the airline's logo, which is displayed on the tail fin of the aircraft, is much smaller than their current logo, which is slightly much larger. But everything else on this aircraft concerning the airline's livery scheme remains totally unchanged, as Singapore Airlines sported this livery scheme from 1988 up until the airline unveiled their current updated revised livery scheme in 2006. So, with all this information out of the way about this particular aircraft, how the Megatop name came about, as well as the livery, with no further ado, everyone, let us get down to the nitty-gritty and allow me to show you all the details on this aircraft. And I'll show you. Let us begin and let's check it out. Alright, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft here on the port/left side, and we're going to start at the front of the aircraft where you see the front nose landing gears, the landing gear struts, the landing gear door featuring the partial registration ship number on that landing gear door, PG. Then you see the P2s and the static ports, what have you, the radon nose cone, the windshield wipers, and the cockpit windows. Please stay tuned. I'll give you a better visual view of those details later on in the model review, okay? But more important, between the right next to the cockpit window is the actual Star Alliance decal, which is this decal you see right here. And Singapore Airlines joined the Star Alliance on April 1st, 2000, which consists of 26 airline members from 5 inhabited continents. And this alliance includes Air Canada, Lufthansa, SAS Scandinavian Airline System, Thai Airways International, and United as the 5 founding members. And let's talk about the nice little Megatop title right here. The Megatop decal, okay. Alright, up until the mid-2000s, around the year of 2004 to be exact, Singapore Airlines assigned a distinctive name to each of its aircraft types, as this particular aircraft type, the Boeing 747-400, was given the name Megatop, as it actually became by far, at that time, the largest long-haul aircraft fleet of Singapore Airlines during the 1990s and beyond the 2000s, which allowed the aircraft to fly long-haul routes from Singapore non-stop to worldwide destinations such as London and Honolulu respectively from the airline's innovative standpoint. But unfortunately, the Megatop title was eventually done away with altogether in 2006. Alright, now you're looking at the center of the aircraft and we see the Singapore Airlines billboard title, and right next to the Singapore Airlines billboard title is the Singapore flag decal, which is this decal you see right here. And this flag decal represents the country where Singapore Airlines currently operates from as the national flag carrier airline for the country of Singapore. And then looking down here, you see the nice little engine right here as well as right there. And these are the Pratt & Whitney PW4056 turbofan type engines that was previously used on this particular Singapore Airlines Megatop Boeing 747-400 Jetliner aircraft. Now you see the engine cones right here as well, very detailed there as well. Now we're going to turn this aircraft model around. We're going to actually find out if the turbofan blades do spin on these engines. Let's check it out. Alright, now you're looking at the front of the engines here on the port/left side of the aircraft. No engine strikes, but we're going to see if they spin. Oh yeah, perfect. And let's talk about the inner engines. Perfect. As you can see there, perfect. And then you see the inboard landing lights right here on the edge of the wing, as well as the front visual view of the landing bogey gears, including the landing gear struts, as well as the actual landing gear doors. Alright, now you're looking at the front of the engines here on the starboard/right side. We're going to try the outer engines here. Do they spin? Yes. The inner engine, do they spin as well? Yes. Perfect. And then you see the inboard landing light right here. It's painted, but it's detailed enough, as well as the front visual view of the landing bogey gears, including the landing gear struts, as well as the actual landing gear doors. All right, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft where you got a better visual view of the cockpit windows, the windshield wipers, the radon nose cone, the nose gear doors, including the landing gear lights inside of the nose gear doors, the nose gear struts, as well as the front visual view of the front nose landing gears. All right, now you're looking at the winglet wingtip device featuring dark blue and orange you see there, including the red navigation light you see right there on the edge of the wing next to the winglet wingtip device. All right, now you got a better visual view of the landing bogey gears here on this side of the aircraft, the port side. We're going to start the outer landing bogey gears right here. You see the landing gear struts as well as the landing gear doors. And then you see the center bogey gears right here. It also includes the landing gear struts as well as the landing gear doors as well. All right, we're still back on the engines here on the port side. What you're looking at is the Singapore Airlines logo on both these engines. You see right here as well as right there. And this is the corporate logo of Singapore Airlines, as the logo actually resembles that of a bird that's inspired by a silver kriss, which comes from the charis, a dagger from Southeast Asia, prominently featured in the region's myth and folklore, and has been the airline's official logo ever since the airline's inception from the split of Malaysia Singapore Airlines in 1972. All right, we're at the back of the aircraft, and what you're looking at inside that gold cheat line is the actual registration ship number 9V-SPG. Registration ship number 9 Victor-Sierra Papa Golf. This aircraft is actually the 32nd Boeing 747-400 jumbo jetliner aircraft that actually entered the fleet of Singapore Airlines. And the first test flight on this aircraft took place on February 9, 1996, and was delivered to Singapore Airlines on February 15, 1996, and flew for 13 years until it was eventually finally withdrawn from the Singapore Airlines fleet on June 28, 2009. Then was sold to Ducalion Aviation Funds on August 6, 2009. Then was leased out to World Airways on January 9, 2011. Then was leased out to Southern Air on July 9, 2012. Then was finally sold to Aerial Transcargo on April 21, 2016. And at the time of this video review posting, this particular aircraft continues to operate in the Aerial Transcargo fleet. All right, now looking at the tail fin of the aircraft here on the port side, you see the airline logo display on this dark blue and orange tail fin of the aircraft, as I mentioned earlier. All right, now you're looking at the back of the aircraft. What you're looking at is the APU exhaust hole right here, and there's a hole right there, as well as the strobe light you see right there underneath the APU exhaust hole, as well as the entire aircraft from the rear view angle. Let's check it out. There it is, everyone. The vintage Singapore Airlines Megatop Boeing 747-400 jumbo jetliner aircraft from the rear view angle. Awesome. All right, now you're looking at the front of the aircraft here on the starboard side. So that's right. We're going to start at the front nose landing gears, the landing gear struts, the landing gear door PG, the P2 static ports, the radon nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit window, the Starlines decal, the Megatop decal, as well as the front cargo container loading door. All right, now you're looking at the center of the aircraft where you see the Singapore Airlines title, the Singapore flag decal, and then you're looking at these Pratt & Whitney PW4056 turbofan type engines here on the starboard side of the aircraft. See the engine cones there and there as well. Then you see the Singapore Airlines logo on the engine column there and there as well. All right, now you're looking at the winglet wingtip device painted in dark blue and orange on this side of the aircraft, as well as the green navigation light you see at the edge of the wing next to the wingtip device as well. Now you got a better visual view of the landing bogey gears here on this side of the aircraft. Start the outer bogey gear. You see the landing gear struts as well as the landing gear door, and then there's the center bogey gear there as well. Includes the landing gear struts as well as the actual landing gear door there as well. All right, now you're looking at the back of the aircraft here on the starboard side. What you see is the rear cargo container loading door, the AFT boat bin door, the registration ship number, as well as the airline's logo displayed on the blue and orange tail fin of the aircraft as well. Let's check it out. Voila, there it is. All right, before I show you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model as well as the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model in full detail, please allow me to let you check out one special feature, which is the rolling gears. So I'm going to let you check them out right now. Oh, rolls pretty good so far. Okay, still got to be careful though with these gears though. Okay, it does tilt a little bit. All right, and then the front nose gear swivels there as well, as you can see that there, and there. So with no further ado, everyone, here we go. Allow me to show you this aircraft from the aerial bird's eye view. Let's check it out. All right, now you're looking at this aircraft from the aerial bird's eye view. We're going to start at the front where you see the radon nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows, the pod escape hatch door. You see the Star Alliance decal on both sides. You see the Megatop decal on both sides. And then at the distinctive hump, you see the anti-collision beacon light, a couple high-frequency antennas, and then you see the Singapore Airlines titles and the Singapore flag decal on both sides. You see the ADF antennas. You see the Wi-Fi box antenna. And then you come up here, and then there's another, there's the vertical stabilizer right there known as the tail fin. And then there's the horizontal stabilizer, features two little black dots right there, as well as right there as well. Those little dots are actually called illuminator lights, and the sole purpose of these illuminator lights that it actually used to light up this tail here when it used to fly during nighttime. Now let's check out the engines, the wings from above. Check out the engines there, and then you got the wings right here. No wing walkway, but you got the flaps, slats, aileron, spoilers, what have you. And there's a fuel dump valve as well as the winglet wingtip device on that side of the aircraft. Now let's check out over here. Got the engines right there, No wing walkway, but you got the flaps, slats, aileron, spoilers, what have you. Fuel dump valve on this side as well as the winglet device on this side of the aircraft as well. All right, now you're looking at the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model. We're going to start at the front where you see the radon nose cone, the crew escape hatch door, the front nose gear door, as well as the front nose landing gear. And then you come up here, a high frequency antenna, the anti-collision beacon light, the center bogey gears, the hole where the stand goes in at, a couple more high frequency antennas, the pressure relief valve. There's another high frequency antenna. And then there's the APU housing door as well as the horizontal stabilizers underneath. Now let's check out the center bogey gears first. No, they don't tilt, unfortunately. I don't know about these Inflight models, but the Inflight 747, they do not tilt at all. But it's all good though. And then you see the engines right there with the Singapore Airlines logo on this side there as well as the wings underneath. Includes the flaps, slats, aileron, spoilers, what have you. Registration ship number, fuel dump valve, as well as the winglet wingtip device on this side of the aircraft. Let's check out this side here. The engine, the gears there. No, they don't tilt over here, but you see the engines, as well as the wings underneath. Includes the flaps, slats, aileron, spoilers, what have you. Fuel dump valve, as well as the winglet wingtip device on this side of the aircraft as well. Okay, Since I show you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model as well as the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model in full detail, now I'm going to put it on that nice little metal model stand that actually came with the model I showed you earlier. So with no further ado, everyone, here is the model on the stand. Let's check it out. Alright, finally got this model on the stand with no problem, no hesitation, as you see it being displayed in the takeoff land position, being viewed from the port side of the aircraft. Alright, now you're looking at the model on the stand being displayed in the takeoff landing position, being viewed from the front view angle. Now you're looking at this model on the stand being displayed in the takeoff landing position, being viewed from the starboard side of the aircraft. And finally, you're looking at this model on the stand being displayed in the takeoff landing position, being viewed from the tail cam angle. Alright, since this particular aircraft model has no gear replacement doors and the gears don't come off this particular model, I'm going to go ahead and take this model off the stand and go ahead and wrap up this model review. Alright, let's talk about the seating configuration. The Singapore Airlines Megatop Boeing 747-400 Jetliner aircraft seated 375 passengers in a 3-class configured cabin layout. Alright everyone, here's the breakdown from rows 1 to 4, which is the main deck, which will be about from here to about right here. You had 12 first class full flat sleeper suites. Rows 11 to 20, which is the upper deck, which will be from here to here. You had 26 business class lie flat bed seats, and rows 22 to 25, which is on the main deck, be from here to here. You had an additional 24 business class lie flat bed seats, which brings a total of 50 business class lie flat bed seats, and rows 31 to 66, which will be from here all the way back to the rear of the aircraft. You had an additional 313 economy class seats, which brings the total to 375 seats. And finally, from 1989 up until 2012, Singapore Airlines previously employed their Megatop Boeing 747-400s on routes to approximately 62 destinations across 5 inhabited continents, from the airline's hub in Singapore to some of the worldwide destinations such as London Heathrow, Honolulu, Hawaii, Tokyo Narita, Los Angeles, California via Tokyo Narita and Taipei, Taiwan, San Francisco, California via Hong Kong, Zurich, Switzerland, Taipei, Taiwan, Sydney, Australia, Manchester, England, Chicago O'Hare via Tokyo Narita, Seoul Incheon, Frankfurt, Germany, Osaka, Kansai, Amsterdam, Schiphol, Netherlands, Auckland, New Zealand, Tokyo, Ontario, Canada, Brussels, Belgium, Las Vegas, Nevada, Seattle, Washington, Hiroshima, Japan, Kaohsiung, Taiwan, Montreal, Canada, Vienna, Austria, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, Shenzhen, China, Surabaya, Indonesia, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Chennai, India, Subang Jaya, Malaysia, Medan, Indonesia, Bangkok, Suvarnabhumi, Mumbai, India, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Athens, Greece, Rome, Fiumicino via Bangkok, Suvarnabhumi, Paris, Orly, New York, JFK via Brussels and Frankfurt, Germany, Brisbane, Australia via Darwin, Australia, Jakarta, Indonesia, Madrid, Spain via Paris, Orly, Melbourne, Australia, and Hong Kong. Those were the routes. Well, everyone, this will conclude this model review. I'd like to know if you got this model or you plan on getting this model. The only outside chance of getting this model right now as we speak is on eBay. I just hope you're ready to pay a premium if you really want it that bad, because you're going to pay for one, all right? But if you can snatch your hands on it, please do so. I highly recommend it. You won't be disappointed. So with that said, please take care. God bless. Stay safe above all things. And stay tuned. There's more model content coming. Peace.